Thank you for joining me. This is the third part of our 4-part relationship series. I've listed the different topics right here on the screen for you. So we've already talked about the affair. We've already talked about second chances. And today I wore my Independence Day shirt because we are talking about the breakup. How do you heal when you have decided to end a relationship? So we are talking about your independence. That's right. If you enjoy the content, because I intend to give you a great deal of value, and if it's something that resonates with you and you get something from it, all that I ask is that you hit the like button and share it with somebody who might benefit from it. Is that too much to ask? If not, let's get into it. There's just no way around it. Betrayal itself, it hurts. Whether you've been betrayed by a partner or a friend, it is difficult to recover. The good news is, however, that there are things that you can do to help speed up the recovery process so you can move on with your life. Out the gate, I need you to just embrace it. You might try to block out the fact that somebody's betrayed you so you don't have to think about it. However, it's healthier to just accept the fact that it's happened and so you can start to deal with it. Trying to ignore the fact that someone's betrayed you and everything inside of you that you're feeling can stop your healing process. The easiest thing for you to do is to start addressing those issues and learning how to manage them. You can't expect somebody to do this for you. This is a journey that only you can travel. And the healing takes place inside of you, and there's some different choices that you are going to need to make if you're going to feel better. Laying in the bed and crying for weeks on end about what did or did not happen is not going to make you feel better. If you're ruminating over and over again in your head and playing out every scenario that happened, it's not going to make you feel better. So today we're going to talk about some strategies to help you feel better. You need to forgive them and forgive yourself. You want to forgive them because you don't want to hold on to all of that hate and anger and frustration, because they're going to move on. They're going to move on with their life and they're going to be doing just fine. The forgiveness is for you so that you can start healing and letting go of all that anger and pain and things like that, because that's just not going to be helpful. The other part is forgive yourself, because I know as a woman that sometimes we'll beat ourselves up like, oh my goodness, how come I didn't even see that? What in the world was I thinking? I gave them way too many chances. I knew this was wrong. There were red flags everywhere and I just kept going. And we all do it. We all do it. Men do it. If you get all smitten about somebody and some woman is just the finest thing ever, you'll look past all the flaws she's got, all those things that are red flags and everything blaring at you to leave that one alone. You'll go with her anyway. So both genders do it. We go way too far for way too long, and then we end up getting hurt. And then we have to walk away from it, or that person leaves us. Whatever the case might be, you've got to forgive yourself for anything that you might have done in it, because the bottom line is we all make mistakes. No one's perfect. The best you can do is make sure that you've learned from all those things. So write them down. Write down all the things that were crappy in that relationship, all the things that went horribly wrong, and on one side of the paper, and on the other side of the paper, write down anything that you noticed was a red flag, anything that you could have done differently. Because the thing is, half the battle is you being aware that there's a problem in the first place. Because if you don't know that there's a problem, you're going to make the same mistake again. And no one wants to make the same mistake again. We've already done that in this hot mess we were in, and we ain't trying to be hurt again off the same thing. So let's learn from it. Write down what you should have known or what you want to do differently, because you can't change the past. It's already happened. There's no point in beating yourself up about it. If you made mistakes, you made them. They're over with. You've done it. You may be tempted to seek revenge for the things that they've done for you, but look, you run the risk of hurting yourself even more. What is my guest speaker's here again? Every show she wants to show up now. At any rate, If you are trying to get revenge every time you turn around, you're trying to sabotage their next little relationship that they're going into, that whole process is dangerous, and it's actually going to prevent you from healing because you're so busy stuck on them you can't even pay attention to yourself. It ends up adding more negativity in your life. Well, they've already created enough negativity, so don't give them any more bandwidth. Don't give them any more space in your life. Not to mention, revenge is just a horrible, ugly cycle. You hurt them, they hurt you. You hurt them, they hurt you. When is that going to end? That's a horrible cycle. And why do you want to be on the cycle with someone you don't even like anymore? When someone's mistreated you, that is not someone that you then give more time to and more energy to. If necessary, if you're having a really difficult time moving forward, seek out professional help. Get yourself a therapist, get yourself a life coach, whatever's going to help you move forward. Because sometimes, quite frankly, it's hard to get out your own head. It's hard to stop playing those thoughts over and over again in your head like a record. It's nice sometimes if you have a person that's looking from the third person and can see all the things that you can't see because you're in the midst of it. So imagine there's a tiny bug and the bug is sitting on a rug full of patterns. Can that bug see the pattern on the rug and how to get to the other side? No, they can't, because they're sitting on it. They're sitting in it. But if you lift that bug above the rug, they can see the pattern. They can see how to get out of that maze. And it's the same thing if you seek out a life coach or you seek out therapy. You'll be able to look at things from the outside and see exactly what direction you need to go in. But sometimes it takes another person to help you see from a different perspective. The other part of it is sometimes it's just good to talk and get it out of your body. Holding all that negativity inside of you can damage your health and well-being. So sometimes just talking to someone can help free some of that. The next thing you want to do if you are in the midst of a breakup is start removing anything that's toxic out of your life, because you have to have that time to heal. If you've got a friend and every time you talk to the friend they want to bring up everything that happened in this past relationship, that may not be someone you need right now. Doesn't mean you have to get rid of the friendship, but maybe you need to give some space from that person, because that may not be helpful for you to sit in your pain constantly through having a conversation with that person. That also may be a person in your life that will encourage you to seek out revenge. That is a toxic person. You may want to give some space away from that person, because that's not necessarily what you need right now if you're going to heal. Take the time to start managing your emotions. Now, it's normal to cry and feel anger after being betrayed. However, if you dwell on those feelings, they can actually dominate your entire life and if you're frustrated with a relationship in any way, it can feed off and branch into other areas of your life. It can branch into your work, and maybe you're short-tempered. It can branch into your children, and the moment they decide they're going to ignore you, now all of this past stuff you had with your relationship about being ignored and feeling not heard, now you're going over and beyond with your reaction to your children when they ignore you, because you've now connected those two situations. You've got to take a moment to express your pain that you feel by crying, journaling, speaking to someone about that situation, and then start moving on. And you may even want to write these things down, what kind of emotions that previous relationship brought up for you, because you're going to want to pay attention in those weeks and months following that relationship when those kinds of same feelings come up, because you don't want to go over the top based on what you had going on before. Instead of focusing on the negativity, sow into the people that have been sowing into you. You have people that love and cherish you like there's no tomorrow. So put your time and energy into those people instead of putting your time and energy into people that don't serve your best interest. Then you need to learn to trust again. After betrayal, you may have a difficult time trusting another person again. You may feel that you can't trust anyone because they're capable of hurting you. And I know what that feels like. I've been through that process myself in the past. And I know that you've heard, well, the quickest way to get over anything for men and for women is to get under another man or get on another woman. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Once you experience a breakup, the thing you need the most is time and space to be alone with yourself. I would encourage you to do your best not to date or anything or have any kind of intimate relationships with a partner of any sort for 3 to 6 months or maybe even more. And during that time of solitude, it will give you not only ample time to heal, it will give you the opportunity and the time you need to rediscover yourself and truly know what you want going forward in the next relationship that you decide to give an opportunity. Over time, it's important to learn to trust again and to reach out to others. And you'll learn to trust again, but this happens when you take your time and you don't rush into anything. You let that new person show you that they can be trusted, because anybody can talk a good game. It doesn't matter what comes up out of somebody's mouth. If you can't see it, it might not be true. Be from the show me state. If someone says, oh girl, I'll treat you right, make sure they're demonstrating that in their actions. If the person says, oh, I'm dependable, well, they've been better be showing up when they say they're supposed to show up. And these are things that you can notice in the very beginning of a relationship once you start dating again, to let you know that what they're saying and what they're doing is two different things. I'm not moving forward with this relationship. You can save yourself a whole lot of hurt that you don't even need to have if you just pay attention to their actions and not necessarily what's coming out of their mouth. Now, trusting someone again, it can be challenging, but trust helps you build new and exciting relationships. Look, if I allowed every broken heart I've had along the way to break me, I would have never opened up my heart enough to allow my husband to come in. After the breakup, prior to getting married, or prior to meeting my husband, it took me taking time, a long time, to be alone. And during that time, I started chopping off friends that didn't serve me. Any kind of things that were in my life that didn't fulfill me had to go. My famous saying was, if it don't make me smile and it doesn't bring me peace, it is not allowed in my life. And that is the standard that I now live by. I would look and take that one little mantra, and I would look at a relationship and I go, does this make me smile and does this bring me peace? And if I couldn't say those two things were true about whatever I was involved in, I got out of it. I wrote down specifically the kind of mate that I wanted in my life, what I wanted them to. Now, we're not talking about superficial details. I did put on there, quite frankly, that I wanted him to be tall, but that was about it. I had nothing else on my list related to any kind of characteristics other than height. I wanted him to be someone that was outgoing. I wanted him to be able to appreciate the things that, my growth, because I change a lot and there's new endeavors that I like to take all the time, and someone that could support me in that. So we have to be someone that, could appreciate the woman I am today and could appreciate the woman that I'm becoming. I wanted someone that likes to try new things and they're adventurous in that way. Because I'm very much a structured person and I'm very planful and very regimented, I wanted someone that was a little opposite from me. I wanted someone that was not complacent. Like, I had a whole specific list of things that I wanted in a man. And it wasn't anything superficial, because at the end of the day, when you're 80, 90 years old, what you want to know is this someone that you can have a good conversation with? Do you enjoy being around them? Is it someone that you can learn from? Is it someone that truly, truly cares about your well-being and is willing to go through that ride that life gives you, which has a lot of bumps? And in the end, that's really what matters. Are they honest? Are they sincere in their endeavors and sincere with what they want to do for you? That's really what counts. All that other mess ain't nothing but hype. And when you can focus on those things, then you'll find that person that you can trust again. But you've got to be very intentional about what you're looking for. And you've got to make sure that this new person, once you've given enough time to heal, that you don't hold this person accountable for everything that someone else did to you in the past. Now, if you've done that work on yourself for 3 to 6 months, maybe even a year, and you didn't date and you literally focused on you, that will give you the time to let go of all that hurt. So you're not carrying it into your new relationship. So you're not going to be looking at him all side-eye every time he does something. One, because you've made better choices. But two, because you've let that baggage go. And now you're no longer looking backward through the rearview mirror. You're now looking through the windshield into your future. I'm wishing you the very best that life has to offer. Be safe, and I'm wishing that you sincerely treat yourself kindly during this time. Take care, and I'll see you next Thursday.